My name is Jen Hirsch. I'm one of the corrective exercise specialists here at Crossroads Chiropractic and Wellness. And I'm recording this video as one of my favorite kind of generalized leg day warm-ups. There's a lot of different things that you can do to prepare for various lifts or various, exercises, if you will. But this one is just a generic one that I like to give to my clients who are kind of getting back into fitness, want a really nice dynamic warm-up. If you're actually wanting a pretty good core and leg day warm-up, if you're a real base level, you could even do multiple sets of these exercises. But for my fitness people that are just needing to warm up, I would just do 8 to 10 reps of each of these exercises just to kind of get, systems talking and connected. Now this is very generic. We can always write more specific ones and we can always go through and evaluate what's best for your body. So feel free to book with me at Crossroads Chiropractic and Wellness if that's the case. But what we're going to go through today are bird dogs, dead bugs, an adductor heel slide on the wall, and then I designed a little dynamic inchworm hamstring warm-up flow to get some more dynamic hamstring stuff going on for all my people with an anterior pelvic tilt. So when it comes to bird dogs, there's a bunch of different variations we can do with this, but really what I'd like you to focus on is a good neutral pelvis, right? So almost everything I'm showing you today except the dead bugs, we're going to want that neutral pelvis. So when I'm here, right, what I'm going to focus on is hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips. And I'm going to inhale, neutral neck too. I'm going to inhale and push the wall the way behind me with my glute as my thumb goes out. And then I'm going to exhale and come back. Inhale, exhale. Now, I'm not doing a lot of like this motion through here. I'm in a pretty neutral pelvis. I'm not tipped down here. It's almost going to feel like for a lot of people, we're doing like a cat-cow kind of thing, but you're actually at a neutral spine. So once again, I'm going to inhale to go out, exhale to go back. Inhale to go out, exhale to come back. You want to make sure that your hip isn't like, I'm not getting out here and like tipping my hip out like that. I don't want this exercise to go to the outside of your hip. Now, dead bugs. There's a bunch of different variations on this and really has to do with your core stability and your ability to keep the small of your back on the ground. So here, what I'm going to have you focus on, the angle in which your leg is out is going to be dependent on where you can stabilize the low of your back. Now, due to some back injuries that I've had, I'm still building my strength in this. So when I do dead bugs, I tend to be more here. Whereas if you're stronger and can go out to here, awesome. 90 degrees is kind of where you want it. For some of my people that are really wanting to learn to stabilize, maybe keep this leg down and keep this leg at 90. All of those options are correct. You'd have to kind of play with what's best for you. So for me today, for demonstration's sake, I'm going to pull my legs in. I'm going to exhale, try to keep my legs parallel with my femurs, right? Or I should say feet parallel with femurs. And I'm going to inhale, forcing the small of my back on the ground. Exhale, pull that crunch. That crunch should come from low core. Inhale, keeping small of the back down. Exhale, crunch to come back to center. You could do 5 on one side, you could alternate. Really kind of depends on you. The goal here is to make sure posterior oblique chain and anterior oblique chain and low core are all communicating together. Now the next one, we want to make sure that adductors are squeezing at the same time as your leg, right? Over here is extending. So what I'm going to focus on here is a nice, use the wall for balance if you need to, right? But I'm going to go into a nice single leg lunge here. So I'm going to slide this leg out, right? This leg, knee is still in line with hips and feet. I'm going to push the floor away with this leg as I squeeze the inside of this leg to pull my hip in. So it's that good extension of this leg with this internal squeeze of that adductor. Now, you could get really aggressive with this, right? And like go all the way down. Or if you're a beginner, like this side, I'm not nearly as strong. I can go to here or even just a little bit of a hinge and do that same action. Just knowing that each leg, each day, and according to your fitness level, you may need different versions of that, and all of that is okay. Now the last one, I want you to really think about glute and hamstring connection, right? So an inchworm is essentially, I'm going to demonstrate it this way first, right? So I'm going to go into a nice hinge, right? You don't really want to lock out knees. I'm going to walk my hands out into a really solid push-up position. I'm going to squeeze my glute and core, shoulder tap, and then I'm going to walk my feet to my hands. And when I get to about here or wherever your version is, I'm going to squeeze my glute and hamstring to bring my body up. Now what's nice about that, if you want more core focus on it, do a couple more shoulder taps. If you want more hamstring, just inchworm in, inchworm back. My preferred version of this is inchworm out, 2 push-up position, shoulder taps, do it again for like 6, and then backpedal your body back to the beginning. Because that back pedal, after I've inchwormed out to here, right, pop, 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 is going to make sure that my whole posterior oblique connections, posterior chain especially, is working well and woken up before doing a leg day, because most people, that's what they struggle with. So if you have any questions, if there's any other content you guys really want to see, then feel free to comment and share, and let me know if there's anything else that we can help you with here at Crossroads.